should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? He was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor. Maggie? Detective Gumshoe! Are you doing alright? How are you feeling? You need to ask other questions, sir. Don't let him get you down, Maggie. And don't forget to eat well, okay? Wanta! And you! Yes? You better square this case away. Got it, pal? Maggie's innocent. You hear? You screw up, and I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. I think he's serious. Hey, detective. You're on our side for once, right? Yep. You'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir? Of course. I got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't match with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Sir! Okay, we'll form a united front today, pal. You got me? I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today, huh? I can only wish. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bond. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Better. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Oh, what's wrong? Nothing. It's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You second me." It was a little, well, intimidating. No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. I see. So Trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us, is he? Trusty? So, Mr. Kudo, your opening statement, please. Mr. Wright, whether you're a fake or the real deal, we will find out soon after this trial today. But I can already tell you, I'm the real Phoenix Wright. I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said, trust me. Now then, Mr. Goodell, please summon your first witness. Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation. Witness! State your name for the court! Oh, sorry, sir. Name's Police Department Detective. Occupation, Dick Gumshoe. Other way around, Detective. Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was on the incident investigation tied up with another case now. I hope he's really got everything under control, for everyone's sake. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you please outline for the court the basic facts of the case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elg. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Incorporated, a local company. This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence. And here are the floor plans of the restaurant. Is it incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poisoned coffee was brought over to him by the waitress. The waitress being the accused? Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. Vaughn Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. This seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Come, detective, take up his hammer and nail the defendant's coffee shut with your own 2 hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elg, was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup. And what we found was potassium cyanide. That's the food he packs a punch. And it looks like Miss Bud might have had, well, some kind of motive. Using the dark aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady. The facts in this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but... Yes? Please, no intimidation tricks this time around. Is that understood? I already told you that wasn't me! When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. Hold it! Can I stop you for just a minute? Huh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? He's so desperate for that to be true, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bond. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said. Objection! Killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction. Hey! Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, it's true. There's 2 testimonies tied up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way. That argument is as weak as the coffee at Trez been, Wright. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes, a one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population the defendant. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poison took place, correct? I think the court will agree that was such a clear view of the scene of the crime. How, Mr. Wright, could anyone have overlooked the second person at the table? It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. I understand that the guy Glenn Elg was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup. So traces of poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else? Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid or was it a powder? If I had to put it in some, I'd say it was a powdery substance. So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper.
Objection!
Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Wright? The victim took his coffee black with no sugar. It seems like the poison could only have been in the coffee. So should I press on this point a little harder or not? Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee? Huh? What do you mean? According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is it that the victim even drank any of it? Oh, hey, you're right. That's right.
Objection!
In case you were wondering, that last objection was for the detective there. Huh? For me? Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have the time to present that piece of evidence. That piece, sir? Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? This! Should I be grateful this coffee is only high enough to give me first-degree burns? Oh, now I remember. This is the, victim's coffee cup. Yes, the victim's coffee cup. Take a good look at the web. Oh, yes! It's unmistakable. There's clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in this cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought to him. Like this. For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants. Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance. And what we found was potassium cyanide. That's the fruity packs of punch. And looks like Miss Bird might have had, well, some kind of motive. Hold it! Some kind of a motive? Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion.
Objection!
You know what my golden rule is, detective. Check out a bad cup of coffee, you can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. I'm saying, we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to chuck you out. Just stick to the facts, detectives. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive? Come on, Gumshoe. Since he wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday too. He disappeared from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000! Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one. Then, is it possible Maggie stole the winning one? What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Wait a minute! The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my clients! I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. That's the $500,000 lottery ticket. One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. What? Order, order! He's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress. You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately! I better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial too. It feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. And it's on Maggie's person, unfortunately. That's enough. The facts of this case seem to overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which C is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that C did indeed commit the crime. I like an old man who knows the score. It's just a matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules. I don't mind an old man who's weak to the sound call of money. Oh, good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance. With one final decisive piece of evidence. He's got more evidence against Maggie? This is the apron that the delightful Miss Bud was wearing at the time. Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen. That thing looks like... It can't be blood, can it? Seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. Coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee scene isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, that's something else that stands out even more. Something else? Presume you mean... Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. The pocket? Search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket. About her poison? In Maggie's pocket? Yeah, and Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. What? Order, order, order! The court will accept these items into evidence. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Kudo. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? A games prosecutor! The blood-covered stain that's smeared all over the apron! That's ridiculous! No one told me anything about a bloodstain! You don't need to be told, just look at it! Well, detective? Could this stain really be blood? No way, sir! It's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup? Must have gotten some on her apron while taking someone their breakfast that day. You could have spoke up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe! Pour something like that again and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness! But everyone knew that it was already. I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence. They've all been clearly established. Well, Wright, it seems you really are a phony after all. You really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. Must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him. But we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. Maggie was shot. We found the lottery ticket in the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, try it. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. So let the fun begin. Crime was reported at Shoe Train 5 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Meg had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him. But we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. Hold it! Wait a sec. Huh? Did I say something dumb again? Let me paraphrase what we just said to the court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes? Yeah, basically. In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly? Oh, that. Shut it down. He's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket. It seems Mr. Glenn Arnold visited his doctor before he went to Tresben. We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds. That's all I want else just for the courts. Yes, we do. If I leave this alone, I'll ask to hear more. So what sort of medicine was in the bag? Well, actually, the bag we found was empty. Huh? Yeah, completely empty. It was completely empty? You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence? Desperate all you tried. Now, what happened with the investigation after that, detective? The bag was sourced from the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. That was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. Objection! Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There was just one small contradiction in your testimony. Oh, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will you? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Trespass. Where then did the medicine disappear to? You are too cool, pal! Indeed! Consideration wasn't given to the victim's description in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself! Order! Order! Well, Mr. Kudo, what do you have to say to that? That's all. What? Read from the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the client's name got to do with anything? New Ear Otological Clinic? I don't know how you pronounce that. Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Kudo? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Egg found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? This mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medicine kit in the victim's left ear. Yes, that is. In very, very fine print. Mr. Alex brought to the price of his medicine while he was at Trespass. But it would have eaten his medicine. it'll all be over. Right. Jackson, what's I do? Only moments ago, Mr. Kudo made the following statement. It seems Mr. Ed quickly applied some of his medicine while he was at Tresby. If that's the case, then why was the medicine not found at the scene of the crime? But the medicine case in question was tropical use inside the ilk.
Objection!
That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth.
Objection!
You know as well as I do that the medicine in that case is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide.
Objection!
It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. That's enough. Mr. Kudo, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Kudo? I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there in the restaurant on the day of the murder. Dr. Kudo? The pigeon hater? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems a little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial. And that is something that bothers me. Yay! Good job, Nick! The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. Phew, that was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. Can't believe Detective Gumshoe, how could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed to a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right? Okay, I know all about lies betrayal. I've had them my whole life. It really hurts this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Oh, Gumshoe. The next one is going to be that old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Kudo. Lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. He's in his ways, you know. Yeah, he's a big old grouse. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me, even those never-ending bird seeds. Now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bug. Mr. Kudo, your next witness, please. Prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation, if you don't mind. My name is Mr. Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what makes me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times too. You don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell me about your occupation. My occupation? God, listen, youngin. How much cotton do you think there is for Camino embroidery here? Camino embroidery? That's what I do, or did back in Japan. I embroidered family crest on Caminos. Ancestors were embroidering Caminos before this country even existed. Oh, real craftsman. Don't breed. Hey, you can embroider my costume somehow. Anyway, like I said, there's not much to tell about that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile. off putting him in the kitchen. Now then, witness. You were in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh, yes. I was eating some seeds over a cup of Davatino. Seeds? What do you think these are, I see. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps. Did I? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all. Please, tell the court. We're all ears. Sir, I'll tell you every last detail. He's getting really into this. The young man was reading the sports paper. The servant girl brought him a Javicino. She put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. The servant girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Mr. Kudo, she's not a servant girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. Ha! You're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words, what's wrong with the old-fashioned ones, Newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless and spectacles, I tell you. Excuse me? Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The young man was reading a sports paper. The servant girl brought him a Javicino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looks like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the servant girl right there in the defendant's cell. I remember her well. Hold it! He said, I remember her well, in reference to the waitress. Does she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is. Sorry? You can see all the way up to her. You know, she's practically naked in that uniform. Objection! So the particular feature you recognize with the waitress is her outfit? Anyone could wear such a uniform, even me. Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. Don't get all excited, Nick. You gotta keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away. Gah! There are other things I recognize about her too! He's sorry for himself. What should I do? Sir, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether the waitress was Maggie Bud or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant. I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Sir. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. To remember several details about her appearance. What about the most crucial detail of all? Her face! God, as if I wouldn't remember that!
Objection!
The witness noticed the straps on the accused apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right! I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red! You see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. No doubt he remembers the waitress perfectly well. Yes, I do. I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. The identifying features you described are things you would see from the back. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Objection!
He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment! I tell you I'm not obsessed with straps or women! I'm just telling you what I saw! Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add detail about any identifying features. Features you observe from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure. This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. I can't find a phone soon. I'll get even longer, I bet. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front.
Objection!
Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. Gah! That filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly! Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't! You think I'd forget something as dirty as that? Well, you have for it caught! What? What is it? Ever since I said you have foot at clock, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron. Is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning? And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means if you had really seen this apron before... Yes! You know what I'm getting at! You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front! Witness! You can't just scoop your way out of this! Well, looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Wright. Here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one witness in the restaurant. And the defendant, Miss Maggie Boy. Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of this situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single case where I forgot what I bug or a customer wanted. He can't remember. Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out. Very well, let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. He was another of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand and the nosy brat kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. He had a shovel going across and brought over the Javachino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. The testimony we had just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. How are we going to handle this, Nick? Only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. To strip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but it's what I do best. He was another of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand and the nosy brat kept twisting its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless, I remember that well. Then the southern bone crossed and brought over the Javachino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip.
Objection!
Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory. I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you, nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song. Care to tell us where this is going, Wright? Go to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking the coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left. Gah! What is this? Kindergarten? I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes. On the rim, you notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Yes. There's a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where the stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. The witness had better go back to the court where he... Wait! You think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad? You walk! I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony? Young Wright was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh yes. Now question. I'm good, law-abiding citizen I am. That young hot-bodied news-lucky-head yahoo who I bought. Who, me? You old man, we've heard right enough from you already. Don't call me old man, old man! Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me! Listen to what I've got to say! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but... Sir, why not hear a little more? Mr. Kudo? But this is my 16th cup of coffee. So this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain! You can rely on Victor! The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lines on his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup in his left hand. You know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. What was that monocle, Your Honor? It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. A monitor? You mean like a television screen? Inside the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work. HD, TV, DVD, CD, all these new fingered letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw and I'm telling the truth. It's true. He doesn't seem to be lying. And those are the facts in good old black and white. I was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just when he picked up the cup too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup in his left hand.
Objection!
I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo! There's something very strange about your observations of the victim! What? You say he was wearing this earpiece on the same side as the HMD. Now question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. I can only see that side of his head from where I was sitting. I don't think so. What did you say? You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo. But the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured! Huh? This is medication for his condition was found in his ear canal. That's right. It's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear. Because he couldn't even hear in that ear. Is that true, Captain? It is. Pigeon! Pretty pigeon! Order! This witness assessment is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind, and he claimed the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. So, Mr. Kudo? Captain, are you calling me a drip? I was found. Uncle Employee says that the victim picked up with his right hand. I never back down, I know I'm right. But I drink his Javicino with his left hand. Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup held in his right hand and switched to his left. That's what the old man saw.
Objection!
Impossible! The witness had already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately just after taking just one sip of the coffee.
Objection!
This cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The fact still stands. With one hand or the other, Mr. Egg drank the poisoned coffee. Like this. Sadly, Mr. Go, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless! I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I'm satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce. Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old fozzie! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. Hold it! Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo? Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now. How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I've kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else the court should know. What? There's more? To be perfectly honest, may not be anything. I want another chance. I want another crack at this, you young honest sock. Me? He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun. Well, everyone, what do you say to one final shout-out? The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook. Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Javicino you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man. That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet! Much, much quicker! I can't believe this is happening. You better get ready, youngster! Get the pics of the script throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's gonna be using some sort of ammo coat of that box of seeds. First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure of myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javicino. When the completely upset the vase, he knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, Is that all? Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. You down me again? You're doubting a poor, defenseless old man? No, we are not doubting you, Mr. Kudo. feeling there's a crescent hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah. So what, probably? That's all I can think of. And I have to cross-examine this guy. You're a bird brain, that's why you're all you can think of. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your final cross-examination, please. First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure of myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javachino. When the clumsy idiot upset the vase, he knocked it right over. It broke and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked.
Objection!
Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene. So what? Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact. Huh? Lost your tongue, Granddad? I'm no granddad of yours, hopscotch! Ow, ow! Enough! If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaning will be here all night. Aha! What is it now? I just remembered something. Yes, go on. The broken vase. It was on my table. What? You see? It startled me when that young lad collapsed. So I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean. The vase on your table? Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You clearly earned your kudos for today. I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps there's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more I've got to say. Yes, I remember something else. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom. Wait, listen to me! Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked. And I am still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony we have heard to testify. The mark on the coffee cup and the victim supposedly drank from with his left hand. And the earpiece, which was shown to his left ear out which he couldn't hear. Well, Nick, you did it! I got one file book to the fact of the prosecutor to further investigate this fact. Yes, Your Honor. One more thing before I call today's session to an end. One more thing, Your Honor? This we just heard from. His words insist that his testimony should be of use. So he summarized the occurring incident statements. Okay. You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. Prosecution doesn't need props like that. Kudo's really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here you are, right? There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Kudo's. Yes, Your Honor. This isn't a piece of testimony, but like a 5-year-old's apology. I think we're supposed to have 3 copies. That is all. This cut is adjourned.